All right, look. LeBron James has played as well as anyone, including Kawhi Leonard, in these playoffs so far. But to paraphrase Yoda, LeBron's not the best in the world because you must confront Kawhi. He got to confront Kawhi Leonard. That was a bad Yoda, but still, nothing is settled until he confronts Kawhi because Kawhi is the reigning and defending champ. He's the finals MVP. He's the guy who got MVP when he was 22 years old for the defense he played on LeBron James. But last year, he did everything. Now, it's not LeBron's fault that due to injury, he wasn't available to play. I get it. He didn't get to defend his crown because it was his. And if you want to say, hey, Kawhi can't take that in LeBron's absence, they have to meet each other, then fine. But LeBron's not proving anything. If he doesn't, look, if Kawhi gets knocked out by the Nuggets, okay, fine. But I'm going to go ahead and say Kawhi will be standing when the dust settles. If LeBron is also, and I believe he will be, then we will find out who the best player in the world is. And don't tell me about the teams, because look, I'm not going to make excuses for Kawhi. AD has been a juggernaut in this postseason. Paul George has been overall maybe an above-average starter when you mix in the bad games with the good games and a couple of excellent ones. But he hasn't been close to AD. By the way, LeBron James also has playoff Rondo, who's a real thing. Who's the third wheel on that team? Rondo's the third wheel on that team because it's the playoffs. But Kawhi's got plenty of help, too. He's got a crew. So I'm not going to start nitpicking this and that. They're evenly enough matched that it will come down to their best player, at least in our imaginations. Given the fact that when you look at the numbers, they're virtually the same. These two are about the same. It's going to come down to who can lead whose team past the other. I believe that's going to be Kawhi Leonard. But even if it's LeBron, Stephen A., he hasn't proven anything till he confronts Kawhi.
Well, listen, I'm not going to disagree with that portion of it, Max, because even the year that Kawhi Leonard won Finals MVP by defending LeBron James averaged 28 and 7 that series. But when guarded by Kawhi Leonard, he was only shooting like 34% from the field, whereas he shot 57% from the field against everybody else. So I understand where you're coming from with that. But in the end, what it comes down to is that Kawhi has never had the responsibility that LeBron James has had thrusted upon his shoulders from the time he entered the NBA, for crying out loud. And so when I look at it from that perspective, and I'm thinking about this brother in his 17th year, still a Skywalker, still blocking shots like crazy. They blocked 4 shots in the third quarter. I mean, including one by James Harden, another one by Austin Rivers. The dude was throwing his own block party and what have you. The night before, we're raving about Kawhi Leonard blocking Jamal Murray's dunk with his middle finger. But we're going to ignore the fact that LeBron James did what he did last night, the 29 points in the first half. And this is the beauty that I loved for what I saw from LeBron James. He was taking whatever was given to him. If you gave him the 3, he took it. You put a smaller man on him, he took him in the post. You okay? This brother was driving into the lane, finishing at the basket. He was doing absolutely everything in that first half. And in my estimation, had he not done that in the first half, the Lakers might have gotten blown out. That's how important his play was. Now, clearly in the second half, it was all about Rajon Rondo, who was absolutely sensational. He plays like that. Ain't nobody beating the Lakers. He was hitting threes. He was getting to the basket. He was controlling tempo. He was spelling for LeBron James, enabling LeBron James, rather, to get that rest. And on top of it all, he was setting up other guys for easy baskets, easy buckets. The kind of game that Rajon Rondo displayed last night. I understand, and he was defending Harden as well, stripped Harden on one occasion as well. So the guy was absolutely sensational. To me, he was the player in the second half. LeBron was in the first half, but I'm not going to ignore that block party he put on in the third quarter as well. The brother is doing his thing. LeBron is showing everybody at this particular moment he's the best in the world, and it's up to Kawhi to prove it. You didn't have to go up against Kevin Durant last year in the NBA Finals and in Game 6 in the middle of the third quarter when Klay Thompson had 30, all right, he ended up going down. So as far as I'm concerned, I want LeBron healthy. I want the Lakers healthy. I want the Clippers healthy. And I want LeBron guarding Kawhi Leonard and Kawhi guarding LeBron James. Remember what I reported months ago. Everybody want to act. Even Lou Williams came out and called me out because no way would Kawhi Leonard saying something like that. I'm telling you what I know. Kawhi Leonard went up to somebody who will remain nameless and said, quote, tell LeBron James to stop being scared to guard me. It's what he said in the offseason prior to the season starting. It's what he said. So I'm telling you what I know. So because of that, we should all be looking forward to this. But don't crown Kawhi just yet. The king is still LeBron James in that regard.
No, well, you could say don't crown Kawhi, but LeBron's not wearing the crown either. At best, they both got a piece of the title or the title's vacant, Stephen A. Two things. One, what LeBron is doing right now is much more remarkable than what Kawhi is doing because of the age and the miles on his legs. LeBron is working miracles right now. We've never seen anything like it this deep into a player's career in the NBA. It is ridiculous how great LeBron is. I agree with that. I'm not arguing. And we've seen LeBron accept the challenge of Kawhi as the season wore on, the last game that they played against each other, and even in the bubble. But here's the thing, Stephen A. Psychologically speaking, it's Kawhi saying, tell him not to be scared of me. It's LeBron saying, come and join my team. And it's Kawhi saying, I'm not joining your team. I'm coming for you. I'm going to set up shop in your building because it's my building now.
Well, we'll see.
I'm coming to get you. So who has the psychological advantage there? The dude who wants to join or the dude who says, no, I'm hunting you? It's Kawhi.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.